It's time now for Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. Catch up with everything that's going on at Anderson Speedway with Rick Dawson and Gary Mong.
Good evening. Welcome to Track Talk. Rick Dawson, Gary Mong. We are at the Mounds Mall Special Events Studio.
We are.
In the middle of a big week.
It's the week. The one we look forward to every year.
We started at, 10 o'clock this morning? Opened the pits, and within an hour they were jam-packed full of race cars.
Pits look really good this year. Look really good.
A lot of, I don't know how many cars were there. In fact, I didn't get to see any of the times or watch much of the practice. You did.
I'm going to say we had probably 20-some sprint cars there today, which for the Tuesday practice, which is just an open practice day, that's a great turnout. Several wing sprint cars, but the majority of them that was out there practicing today was the little 500 cars.
I haven't even had a chance to look at the entry list. I think it was at 35 or 36 before today. I know there's two cars that showed up with pretty well-known names that haven't entered yet that are going to. Jojo Helberg from California made his way into the pits. And for the first time in several years, from Florida, David Steele was in the pits with his sprint car.
And both of them had fast cars out there today.
Did they?
Yeah, they were looking good.
So David Steele is back, and I'm sure is going to be a
force to reckon with.
Force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
A lot of former champions in the pits. Jacob Wilson was there, two-time defending champion. I seen Brian Tyler walking around. Shane Cottle, I think, was out on the track, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure I'm leaving several out. Jeff Bloom was
which
there.
Which is like his 36th or 37th consecutive start.
I think it's 38.
Oh, is it that many?
Looking very good.
Yes,
healthy. He's put on some weight and feeling a whole lot better, and so we're real thankful for that.
That's great.
So we have got, I'm telling you folks, and I'm not just hyping the race because it is going to be, the race itself is going to be fantastic. The atmosphere at the track this whole week, but especially on Saturday, is just going to be something to be seen.
And be a part of.
We started getting campers parking last Friday evening.
And they didn't get any racing last Saturday,
and they didn't
unfortunately.
get any Saturday. We got rained out. It was raining when we left the track at 8 o'clock Saturday evening.
Yes.
And we wouldn't have been able to get that race in.
No.
And Sunday was off and on. I don't know that we got any rain Sunday.
They kept predicting more rain on Sunday than Saturday, and it was almost like it flip-flopped. But, hey, that's the way it is in Indiana in May.
But we're going to be talking to a couple of racers, one active, one retired, fan favorite here in just a few minutes. But fast times today.
I've seen a lot of 11.2s, 11.3s, 11.4s, which I think down to 11 point, or is it in the 10s now for the little 500 record? I can't remember if it's 11.
It's right at 11.
Right at 11 in it. So they were pushing close to track record times today. But you had a nice day out there as far as being cool and stuff like it was. They were
good crowd in the stands too to watch it. Tomorrow is a big day at the Speedway. We open the pit gates at 8:30, and at 10 o'clock or at 10:45, the little 500 cars get on the racetrack. And they'll practice until 1:30. Then at 2 o'clock, the must-see racing wing sprint cars get on the track to practice. And then we will open the front gates then to stub tickets. It's all free up until 5 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock, we'll open the front gates. Then the Mel Kenyon Midgets get on the track for practice. Then we qualify the wing sprints and the Kenyon Midgets. And at 7 o'clock, we'll start racing tomorrow evening at Anderson Speedway with the Must-See Racing 60 presented by Sam Pierce Chevrolet and the Mel Kenyon Midgets. And then Thursday and Friday, big days at the track. Senior Day, Thursday morning. I believe that starts at 10 o'clock until we start practice. That's always a big day. It's a fun day at the track. Looks like the weather is going to be beautiful the rest of the week. It's going to be a little cold, at least for my taste, tomorrow, but it's still in the 60s.
For this time of year, that's good.
The rest of the week, mid-70s, no rain, perfect Payless little 500 weather presented by GM. And on the phone with us right now is one of the young men that is going to be participating Saturday night, a fan favorite and certainly one of the most popular drivers in our area right now, Aaron Pierce. Aaron, how you doing this evening, buddy?
Pretty good, Rick. I just was listening to you there. You said young man. I do this too many more years, I'm going to have to come to the senior day before the race.
Well, you're always going to be a young man to me. I can remember 20 years ago watching you race, buddy, and it's always fun when Aaron Pierce is on the racetrack. Hey, at 10.2 in your wing car today and dirt tracking it, doing that. What's up with that?
Well, we had a setup on it that we won the 200 with, and had a different wing on it, and it was a wing that we had over there, and plus we moved it over about an inch, and it just made the car react different. And I was actually trying to show Evan Jackson that it was doing what I told him it was doing. It went fast there for a couple laps, but there's no way it'll race like that. But it was sure probably fun to watch, though, because it was fun to do.
It's amazing what Aaron just said, that just moving a wing an inch of what it does to that car.
Yeah, you got to realize you got 4,000 pounds of downforce on top of those cars, and it makes a big difference if you move the engine an inch, and the engines only weigh 500-600 pounds. So moving that wing is a really big deal, and it's something that we haven't done before, and we're trying, and it definitely gave the car more traction, but we've got to compensate with that somehow, and we got a good idea of what we need to do. So that thing, it went pretty fast today, but it'll be better and more raceable tomorrow.
What's the cool temperatures do to the cars?
Today, with all the rain that we've had here lately, the track was kind of green, and I didn't feel like it had much grip. Going by the times that the guys were running, it wasn't a super fast racetrack. But that'll change. When we ran the Glen Nibel a few weeks ago, we had the CRA late models there, and those heavy cars put down a lot of rubber, and I think that's one of the fastest qualifying times that I've ever turned in the spring. We usually qualify at 11.4, 11.5, and I think we went at 11.31 or something like that. So the track was really good because we had those other cars putting down rubber. The sprint cars take a little longer to do, but come Thursday, I think the track will be fast, and the cool temperatures might see a new track record, not for sure.
That'd be pretty cool. How about the little 500 car? How was it?
The little 500 car was really good. We had a tire on the left rear that we were fighting a little bit, and we got it off, and we've got another set we're going to put on it tomorrow. We were fourth quick, and didn't have a super, super good car, but it was pretty drivable, and we should have a really good qualifying car for Thursday. We get that tire situation lined out. So
I know what the fans think, but tell us what the little 500 means to you and what it would mean to Aaron Pierce to take home the trophy.
I've won a lot of races, Rick, and all over the country. The biggest race that I've ever won is probably Darlington in a Silver Crown car, just being at a NASCAR track, and there was a ton of people there, and it was just a really cool place to win a race. Put you on a list with Mario Andretti, was the only other driver to win an open wheel race there in a Silver Crown car. But winning the little 500 would definitely top it for me. It's my favorite track. It's local. We do a lot of business around Anderson, and it would just mean everything to me for me to get that trophy for my dad. So that's what I've been working on doing for all these years, and we've been close a few years, and a couple of years the guys thought I was too patient, and then I can't ever do enough right. I either run at too fast of a pace or too slow of a pace. So I'm going to try to slow it up a little this year and try to make it to lap 500, and if we can do that, I know we'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, that race is I'm sure you will attest, is about as much luck as it is mechanical skill in the vehicle.
Definitely, and you've got to get through the traffic. You can't worry about going down a lap or so in the beginning, and you got to finish it in order to win it. For the last couple of years, I haven't finished it. So.
Yeah. Well, I know there's a lot of folks that help you, Aaron, and that would be a good time to thank them.
Well, first of all, I got to thank my dad. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do this without him, and he puts a lot of effort and time and money into it, and we sure have a good time doing it. St. Pierce Chevrolet, G&G Racing Fuels over in Muncie, they supplied us last year. They supplied us with over 100 barrels of fuel. Valvoline. They give us all our oil. It's Bias Oil Company there in Noblesville, I think it is. And Midwest Truck and Accessories in Muncie. We just got a lot of guys behind us that help us out. And, I really appreciate that. I got to thank the guys that helped me, Evan Jackson, Rusty Callahan, Chris Garrett, Brandon Wetzel, Dave Hurley. I mean, we just got a whole list of guys that have been coming and doing that thing with me so this would be my 14th year. And I think every single one of them has been there since the beginning. So when you got a group of guys like that are familiar with the car and with the pit stops that we do, pretty sure that we do faster pit stops than anybody. And it's all because of the experience and the time and the practice that those guys put in, and I got to thank them too.
Yeah, you don't just show up and
No, you don't.
do pit stops. You can tell the ones that have practiced, and that's important. And speaking of Sam Pierce Chevrolet, this Saturday night, I don't know if you've had a chance to see it yet or not, but our good friends at UAW GM and your dad and Sam Pierce Chevrolet have provided us a beautiful Silverado truck to pace the race Saturday night, and it's going to be pretty special.
Well, you might want to put a push bumper on it, Rick. I might need an extra one.
I know. Yeah, right. Well, Aaron,
Yeah.
I know you guys are busy and you're working on your car and getting ready for a big day tomorrow. On behalf of all of our fans, I know we're wishing you well this weekend and good luck at the race.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, guys, and thanks for having me on. And like I said, and Rick, I appreciate everything you do for us, and just want to thank you for that too. So.
Well, I appreciate that, Aaron. Aaron Pierce, folks, going to do his best to take home the trophy.
He's going to be one of the favorites, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely fan favorite. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go back in time and talk to a Indy car racer that raced back in the 60s and 70s, a familiar name. When we get back, you're listening to Anderson Speedway's Track Talk.
Heart attack, stroke, serious injury. A sudden health crisis can happen to anyone at any time. So when bad things happen, choose good people. St. Vincent Anderson Regional Hospital has the area's most advanced emergency care, with a state-designated Level 3 trauma center, an internationally accredited chest pain center for heart attack patients, and advanced certification for primary stroke care. We have all the resources to deliver the care you need for any serious or life-threatening emergency. St. Vincent Anderson Regional is the only emergency department in the area with an on-site helicopter. And our $27 million state-of-the-art surgery pavilion opens later this year. Bad things can happen to anyone. Thankfully, good people are ready to help. Choose emergency care from St. Vincent Anderson Regional, the spirit of caring. Visit stvincent.org/Anderson Regional to learn more.
Honey, stop! Oh my gosh, that's Diggity's back there.
You mean the new Diggity's Frozen Treat Factory?
I heard it's unbelievable. Everybody's talking about it. They have everything yummy.
Yeah, I heard they have ice cream, yogurt, custard, sorbet.
And gelato, plus fruit smoothies, and that's just the beginning.
I heard Diggity's has over 250 toppings, not 30 or 40 like those other places, and you can even get the candy to go separately.
We can eat outside on their huge patio by the fire, too.
Okay, let's see. Frozen yogurt, ice cream, custard, sorbet, and gelato with 250 toppings, or a plain old frozen yogurt shop with limited toppings?
Diggity's it is!
Diggity's wants to cater your event. Diggity's can set up at your event inside or out and provide delicious smoothies, frozen cappuccinos, candies, and frozen treats to your guests. Diggity's is perfect for weddings, company picnics, group outings, sporting events, festivals, you name it, just call Diggity's. 765-393-0033 today for more information.
Buying American always wins, whether on the track or on your driveway. To get your winner's circle, check out the great products made at UAW-represented GM plants right here in the USA. You'll be sure to find a car, truck, or crossover that'll fit your needs, and with many choices from Chevy, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac, you can't go wrong. Remember, buy American and buy UAW GM.
MoFab Incorporated, where imagination is the only limitation. We serve residential, commercial, industrial, and municipal customers as your metals warehouse and fabrication center. We do all types of fabrication using the latest technology with unmatched speed, accuracy, and durability on any substrate. Our ornamental division handles all types of interior and exterior work, including rails, fences, gates, and more. So contact us at mofabbing.com to fabricate your dreams of tomorrow today.
Tired of feeling like chum in a Shark Tank? At Auto Farms McLaughlin Ford in Middletown, you'll feel like more than a number on their bottom line. Sure, we're in sales, but we're not salesmen. No high-pressure tactics, no haggling over prices. You're in charge. You're in the driver's seat. Bottom line, if we can't beat the price by at least $250, we'll give you $25 for giving us a chance. So pull out your phone, bring us a quote, whatever you have to do, we'll beat it. If you're at Auto Farms McLaughlin Ford in Middletown, you're at the right place.
This program is a presentation by Anderson Speedway. The content contained in this program is that of the host and guests, and not this station.
How about the Hollies? Really?
I don't know.
I think you've stumped us, Wayne. Oh, Santana. Oh.
Santana.
Well, it sounded like Santana, but it sounded a lot more like Jimi Hendrix when it was all said and done. We're back. Anderson Speedway's Tack Talk. Can you tell I need some sleep?
Yes. And it's only Tuesday.
Oh, we're having a blast out the Speedway.
We are.
And this Saturday night, when we get ready for the Payless Little 500 presented by UAW GM, a lot of things added to the midway at the Speedway. The UAW GM Build in America truck is already up there. They'll have it all set up actually tomorrow night. And don't forget the must-see racing 60 presented by Sam Pierce Chevrolet tomorrow evening, along with the Mount Kenyon Midgets. Big race, practice all day. Then also Saturday, the Kroger Fan Fest is going to be there. They have all kinds. I was there. Josh from Kroger Fan Fest was there today. Told me all the activities, a lot of interactive stuff.
Cool.
Going on out there. We've also got Kent was there today with his wife setting up the Daktronic simulators. It's kind of like tradition out there to have them there at the race. Great people, and it's a lot of fun at the simulators. Come out and see if you can get your name on the top of the board for that. All kinds of other things going on. Of course, we're getting, by the time we get back there, our Payless Little 500 T-shirts and apparel will be in. You want to be sure and get that and grab a piece of history. This is going to be something for
yes, you're right.
The 67th Payless Little 500 presented by UAW GM. And before we get to our special guest that's on the line right now, we need to say hi to a special guest over in Muncie.
Hello, Aunt Jenny. Hope you can hear us tonight.
No, we weren't on, I guess, last week.
Yeah.
Ball State.
Baseball or something ran over.
Softball.
Yeah, something ran over.
Anyway,
but hello
back and welcome back to our Muncie listeners. We're glad to have you. But on the line right now is a gentleman who made, it looks like 6 or 8 starts maybe in the Indianapolis 500. Raced a lot with USAC back in the 60s and 70s. And I've never got the opportunity to talk to this gentleman, but it looks like I'm going to see him a couple times this week. Bob Harkey. Bob, how are you doing this evening, buddy?
I'm doing fine this afternoon, thank you.
Well, sure, appreciate you taking the time with us. Tell the fans a little bit about Bob Harkey. I'm sitting here looking at the stats. It looks like 6 Indianapolis 500 starts.
Yeah, that's correct. I grew up in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and of course that's the headquarters of NASCAR. And
Yes.
NASCAR didn't really get on the books of racing until 47, but there was no open wheel racing in North Carolina except for fair dates in the fall. Everything else was modified sportsman jalopy. And I ran those in the early days because there was nothing else to run. And then there was an open wheel midget group in Atlanta, which is like 250 miles from Charlotte. And I would go down there every Saturday night to run the midgets. And I started ripping midgets and went on up to Washington, D.C., and ran up through there and ran the East Coast and URC and ARDC and midgets and sprint cars, and came out to Indianapolis in '63 and got my rookie test, and here I am.
Well, it looks like you raced in the '64 race, qualified for the 1964 race, and finished 8th place. That's not bad for the first race.
And that was in the car that I had in '64 was the same car that Rasmus won with in '60, and it was a Roadster. And out of the approximately 900 drivers that have driven Indianapolis since 1911, there's only 8 of us left that have driven Roadsters.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. And then into the 70s, it must be been something. I mean, that's back in the day when I really followed and got into racing, and the names were familiar. Of course, Harkey. That's back. You raced against A.J. Foyt and Mario and Rutherford and the Unsers. I mean, tell us about some of those people and tell us what you think has changed between then and now.
Well, because I raced against Hurdy and Parnelli along with the other guys, and we were just a big family. We ran midgets and sprint cars together a couple times a week, and we played pranks on each other, and we just had a good time. I really don't know how the camaraderie is with the day's drivers. You know, they're high-tech drivers. They don't run the dirt or nothing like we did. They all run road courses. So, but I'm sure that they all, Kanan and Dan Weldon and Helio and all those were tight-knit, and the same way we were.
Yeah, you used to, back in those days, I'm going to guess that even during the month of May, you raced, in addition to Indianapolis, you also probably raced the midgets or sprint cars.
Well, yeah, I ran the midgets and the sprint cars all through the Midwest and East Coast, and I ran the Hoosier 100 every year, and midgets and sprints up in Michigan and all through a lot of racing in Pennsylvania, open wheel racing. And I ran as much as I could run, as many races as they had.
It was obviously in your blood.
Did you ever attempt to race in the little 500?
I ran in Anderson one time back around '64, and I don't even remember now if it was a 500 or just a short race. But I did run the sprint cars there one time.
Yeah. When was the last time you were at the track, Bob?
I was out there about 2 or 3 years ago with Mel Kenyon.
Okay. There's a name that and I'm going to guess you probably have stumbled against a man by the name of Tom Bigelow a time or two.
Oh,
too.
yeah. Tom and I, we chased each other for years. Yeah.
Tom is a really good friend, and I'm always he's a guy that'll put a smile on your face.
Absolutely.
And tell you a story a mile long every time you see him. I'm
yes,
looking forward to having you out the track soon. Are you going to be out there tomorrow with the Midwest Old Timers?
Oh, yes, I will be, yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Good.
Well, I'm sure the fans will look forward to meeting you, Bob, and I'm the same here. I mean, you live the
era,
the history and the legend of racing that really, of course, you know, I'm pretty partial to the Payless Little 500 now, but back in the days when you raced Indianapolis, that was the place to be, and I really look forward to talking to you and hearing some of your stories.
Well, Ronnie Duman ran, I think, won there one year, but I raced with Ronnie a lot back in the 60s.
Yep,
and Marvin Carmen, I think I ran with him once or twice. And most of the guys that have run a little 500 run sprints, and I run with them at one time or another.
You probably did. You run into Jack Hewitt?
Oh yeah.
Or did he run into you?
Well, no, we didn't run into each other that night.
Yeah, Jack's a great guy too. So, well, Bob, we appreciate you taking the time with us this evening, and we certainly look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And I know all the fans will too. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
All righty.
Sounds good.
Bob Harkey, a veteran racer, the stories that he could tell. I mean, talking about Parnelli Jones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who ran the Little 500 in 1960, I believe, or 59, passed his rookie tester started his first Indianapolis 500 in 60 and was Rookie of the Year in 61. I may have that all
just kind of like you said, back in those days for the Indianapolis 500 was something. I mean, it was man and machine. And I know we've seen a lot of stuff going on the last week down in Indianapolis, but back in those days, those guys were fearless.
Yeah, and our best wishes and prayers goes out to James
Hinchcliffe,
who had a really bad accident yesterday, and they interviewed him this evening on the news. He's talking and thanking everybody, but that one was pretty horrific.
But about 30, 40 years ago, Rick, hitting that wall like that, they may not have walked away from it. Those cars are really pretty safe anymore.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do on them.
Yes, they do.
But it'll be a good race down there Sunday. This Friday night, folks, come out to the Speedway. Starting at, I believe the gates open at 6 o'clock Friday evening. We have the Bishops, a great band from Indianapolis to be out there. We're going to have our Payless Little 500 concert, and the proceeds will benefit the YMCA. Come out. It's a great band. Trust me on this one. Have a good time. Good time to unwind. Be some drivers out there, that you meet and
maybe get a dance with.
You never know. But
we know some of them are film dancers.
6 o'clock at the Speedway under the pavilion. Great time this Saturday night. Again, tomorrow, don't forget the Must See Racing 60 tomorrow evening. It's going to be a little cool, but that just makes those cars that much more.
That's right.
That much faster.
Much faster, along with the Mel Kenyon midgets.
And then Senior Day is on Saturday.
Thursday.
What did I say?
You said Saturday.
It's Saturday.
It's Saturday.
It's Thursday. At 10 o'clock, the gates will open. Then at 11:30, we practice for the Payless Little 500. We qualify from 1:30 to 3:30. And we will set the top 15 in the field. And then on Friday, we have bump day. We'll set the balance of the field, and then whoever's not in there is going to try to bump their way in. It looks like we may have 7 or 8 cars that's going to have to do that.
Yeah, Friday's going to be interesting.
And these are fast cars this year.
They are.
Every car in that pit today, I believe, has a chance to win the race.
I agree with you.
So,
and they're from all over the country. We've had them from California, Utah.
I talked to some
Florida.
folks in the pits today that were here from South Africa.
Wow, really?
I'm not kidding. I got credential requests the other day from New Zealand, for Germany, England. We're from all over the world. We have a Canadian driver in the field.
Yes, we do.
And we have cars there from Florida, California, all over the country, Georgia. It's just neat. We're bringing the world to Anderson, Indiana for a weekend, and I'm so proud that I'm able to be a part of it.
And you need to be a part of it too.
Absolutely.
Our listeners, yes.
Don't miss it. From the flag stand perspective, real quick, we got about 30 seconds. What are you looking forward to?
A good, fast, safe race. I know last couple of years, Rick, or last 3 or 4 years, we went like 30, 40, 50, sometimes 60 laps from the green flag dropped without any incident. So hope we have another good, safe start just like that.
Safe is number one.
Yes.
Whether we have a winner or not, if it's got to do with safety, I don't care. I want everybody that comes to that track to leave that track safely, and we're going to have a great race Saturday night.
It'll be fun.
We appreciate you spending the time. This time next week, we'll tell you what happened. You've been listening to Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. Have a great week, and we will see you at the Speedway.